So good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out to this exciting announcement. I'm going to go off script real quick. Listen, I'd like to say that these were ideas and thoughts that we had that are exclusive to my tenure, but they're not. My predecessor, Dr. Al Van, had a special affinity for working with seniors, first through SIBS, and then it was easy for me to pick up that mantle once I got elected, because he didn't demand many things from me, but he did demand a full concentration on the seniors, as we have been identified as aging quicker than some other places in the city. So I want to give a special shout out to my predecessor, Dr. Van. We can give him a round of applause. I saw Dr. Van a couple of days ago at the rooftop at the jazz event, and someone asked me to dance a little bit, and I said, I know this is going to be bad. Al's going to come busting out of the back and show me up, which is exactly what he did, just to let me know that he still got it, and he definitely still has it. He's not here this morning, but it's really important to know that a lot of times to get the best for your community, it takes a actually passing of the torch and handing of the mantle. So he left me with a solid mandate to make sure that we could continue what he started as it relates. So today I'm proud to stand here today. And although under his administration we weren't able to get a NORC, we finally been able to get one.
There weren't NORCs under his.
There weren't NORCs under his. Okay, so all right, so that ain't his fault. But
We got everything else though.
we definitely got everything else, and Age Friendly was a product through SIBS of the city's Age Friendly program, and we got to be one of the first designees of the Age Friendly initiative. And I have some seenagers here and Age Friendly ambassadors who have taken that to the next level. I'm proud to have the best group of Age Friendly ambassadors probably in the city of New York. Not probably, for sure. So we're here today to announce that effective with the New York City fiscal 2020 budget, the 36th district has been designated a naturally occurring retirement community. And what a day to make this announcement. Today is International Senior Citizens Day. I'm glad to be marking this occasion with some great news for the seniors in Bed-Stuy and Northern Crown Heights. Housing is a serious issue through all 5 boroughs, and it's acutely felt in the 36th district. In the face of increasing fraud schemes, gentrification, and the lingering effects of the financial crisis, NORC designation provides seniors with the opportunity to age in place with government funding for supportive services. The beautiful brownstones in this district and other properties will stay in the hands of seniors and their families who help build the community, ensuring sustainable wealth building. I'm really glad to announce the news today. Getting a NORC status for our community was one of my core campaign promises. So everybody who knows anything about politics knows that the worst thing you could do, Henry Butler, is make campaign promises. Just a little word to the wise.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's very difficult to honor those. And we had just a couple, right? So I didn't make a whole bunch, but some of the things that were important to me that I said I was going to stand up for were expanding the gifted and talented programs, and we brought those back. So anybody knows a sustainable community is only as viable as its seniors and its youth. So those focuses were the focus of my campaign way back in 2009 when I lost miserably, and then in 2013 when I actually won. But we stayed core, those were the core values. This is one of those times as a public servant that I feel particularly accomplished. To be able to give back to the people on whose shoulders I stand. As a council member representing this area, an area where we value deeply the contribution of our seniors and what they've done to the fabric of our community, I'll continue fighting to improve quality of life for seniors and residents. Be it standing up against cuts to senior centers. We went through that budget dance, which the mayor promised that we wouldn't do continually, but we did again, Commissioner. And we were able to turn back or roll back the cuts that they had mandated for our senior centers, Tompkins Senior Center in particular. How many people been to Senior Swim? Do we have any swimsuit winners here today? That's actually a thing, Commissioner. You got to come out and see it. There is a swimsuit competition, which I rail against every year. But every year we got 18 people participated in the swimsuit competition. Just so you know, we only have 1 man every year, so if there's any men in the room who'd like to participate in the swimsuit competition, you can sign up early. Yeah, somebody you might want to start working on your beach bodies, gentlemen. We are a community that believes in caring for our beloved seniors and providing them with the resources they need to live healthy, engaging lives. And with that in mind, I want to say thank you. I think seeing so many people here this morning is a testament to the fact of how much we care about the aging in place of seniors in our community. I'm glad to be joined by so many and joined by the commissioner whose time is incredibly valuable. And I'm going to take this moment to ask our commissioner to come up and give some words. It has been a pleasure to work in this administration with someone who cares so much and so deeply about our seniors and who was available to me and to my staff to make this happen. So thank you so much, Commissioner. Good to see you.
So much. I'm Lorraine Cortés-Vázquez. I am the new commissioner for the Department for the, well, I'm not so new anymore. I'm 5 months. I'm 5 months in. But you are a true advocate for the 36th district, and I say that sincerely. Particularly for older New Yorkers, I don't like the word senior. You know, you're good. Me and you, okay? We here.
How about seenagers? Can we use that?
You can use that. You can use that. I like older people. I like mature, seasoned.
I'm sorry, Commissioner. The seniors here they're not shy.
No. We've been talking before you got here, so we're fine. And of course, I also want to acknowledge and thank someone who's not here, but we cannot have a stronger advocate for older New Yorkers than our chairwoman of the Aging Committee, Margaret S.
Absolutely.
And she's the one that reminds all of us that we need to continue to build NORCs. And why is it that we say that NORCs are important? You know, people think that it is a new phenomenon. It's something that in communities of color have always happened. As a matter of fact, when I was talking to the age-friendly ambassador, that's a natural occurring thing that the NORCs have done. We have always done that, take care of those in our community that need assistance. That's what NORCs are. But why are NORCs so particularly important in the 36th district, as they are throughout this city, is because they preserve community. And for us, it's in all of these changes that are going on, for us it's important to preserve community and to support those people, the people who have been the bedrock of this city. If you think of who's the largest voting population in this city? Yes. Okay. Who are the consistent people who answer the census? Right. Who are the people who fought so that we can have unions and better paying jobs? They started that years ago. So all of us stand on the shoulders of some strong, mighty leaders, whether they were recognized leaders or not. But we all stand on their shoulders. That's what NORC preserves. That's what NORC honors and remembers. And so for many, many years, as you said, you know, with our former council member and many other leaders, they fought to have services, senior centers, home care, health care, geriatric mental health, all of those essential services in communities. But what a NORC does is make sure that the people in that community are aware of those services, can find a way to make sure that they can access those services, and then identify the gaps. What are the gaps that are needed so that then those can be added to that core of services that are already provided in this district? This district is rich with programs. It has home-delivered meals. It has caregiving services. It has case management services. It has senior centers throughout that provide great nutritious meals. They are also culturally relevant senior centers, which is what we really strive for all the time. So I'm pleased to stand with the City Council to make sure that not only do we have this NORC, but that this NORC is successful. And I also want that NORCs are only possible when you have a strong nonprofit in the area that can then partner with the city to provide those services, as well as with their fellow service providers in the area. So I'm really proud to have Brooklyn Neighborhood Services as such a partner. So I'm going to ask each and every one of you to take a stand, right? And really learn from this age-friendly Bedford-Stuyvesant ambassadors. I was amazed when I started speaking to them because what you do is what's required for all of us. Here we live in a city of 9 million people, and we have the greatest problem of social isolation that makes no sense. And age-friendly Bed-Stuyvesant older women, I'm sure you have a few men, but mostly older women, I am sure are really breaking that stigmatism of social isolation. So for that, I applaud you. I ask each and every one of you to learn from their example. There is someone near you, that needs a helping hand, a friendly smile. Make their day. Just say hello. And you know what? When it's snowing, get a shovel out and help them plow. I thank you very, very much for this opportunity.
So thank you all for coming here. This is a really special occasion for us. It's really great to see all of our seenagers, board members, friends, staff, everybody here to celebrate this with us. As Council Member said, I didn't hesitate when I got the call to work with the Age-Friendly Neighborhood Initiative. And I remember back in the early, well, not that far back, working with Councilmember Van on the Aging Improvement District. It was very exciting for me to see seniors involved, engaged, and just doing things because unfortunately seniors sometimes don't get the best rap. So I didn't hesitate to do that. The only thing I was concerned about was when I was asked to be on the committee and I wasn't sure what my commitment was going to be and if I would lose my life. But none of that happened, and my wonderful senior friends here, they've kept me in check. I want to just take a minute just to introduce my staff really quickly because without them, none of this stuff that we do would be possible, and a couple of board members. Our newest person right in front, Hector Ramos, is our financial literacy counselor. Courtney Corbin in the middle, he's our foreclosure counselor. Kevin Washington in the back, he's our program manager and home ownership counselor. And she's not here today, she's frolicking in Mexico. Andrea Green, who is our community outreach coordinator. But I'm sure she wished she could be here. I just want to say thank you. I'm looking forward to this opportunity. Before I really knew technically what a NORC was and I really read up about it, I realized, as the commissioner said, it's something that we've been doing for years, right? We just never brought it to the forefront. We never got support for it and so on and so on. So I'm hoping that taking this initiative on, we're going to continue over the next years. Even when you step away for a minute, we're going to find him anyway. We continue this and provide for our seniors. I want to say shout out to my board members, James Dura, our treasurer, Owens Ridges, our newest member, Judge Betty Staten, Sandra Franklin, who is engaged in conversation right now. And I just say thank you guys for all this. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Council Member. Who did I? I apologize. I apologize. Bessie Edwards, another board member. My apologies. I did feel something here. I wasn't sure what it was. My apologies. I'm sorry. Nothing personal. But thank you guys. We really appreciate this. We're going to take this and we're going to soar with it. And again, thank you, sir. Enjoy.
The group of seniors, the group of seasoned individuals that you see before you. And although she's not here, her presence is definitely felt. Because like the old folks say, her mom and them is here. Her mom and them over there. And so I just wanted to make sure that people understood how long Stephanie has put in and how much work she's put in for us to get to this point. So in her absence, I want to give her a special shout out. And now, all of this couldn't take place without a great group of driven, committed, compassionate, empathetic, seasoned individuals. And if I want to know anything about anything that's going on, actually whether I want to know or not, Ms. Franklin keeps me abreast of the needs of the seniors in this community. So many years ago, I gave her my personal cell, and I'm glad I did, because she keeps me abreast and in line with what the real needs are, because we have assumptions sometimes as legislators and as leaders what the needs are, but she keeps me in tune to what the needs actually are and how to reach more seniors. So I want to thank Ms. Franklin for the great work that she's done with Age Friendly and ask her to give us a few words.
Good morning. Like Richard, I prepared something, but I made notes. Old people forget things. And everybody gets so angry when I say that. But what is my favorite saying? Old people rising up. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Take it easy. We'll start nothing in here.
We want to say it, but I've got to say I'm thankful for two things. Years ago, before Age Friendly, I had to come to BNS, and I met Richard. I was having some problems, and I got to say to you, they were fabulous. I love this organization. And Richard and the board said, will you join us and be a part of us and support us? And I'm committed. I'm Richard's back. Whatever he needs, I'm here. I was in the park, Von King, one day, and I saw the councilman. You can't miss him. And I saw Stephanie. And I said, I want to get involved in my community. And Stephanie said, have I got something for you? Age-friendly ambassadors and working with the Age-friendly initiative. So it has been a wonderful experience where BNS, community work, services, not just housing, but social services, financial literacy, working with young people and bringing them in as interns. It has been a wonderful experience. With age-friendly, housing, public safety, activities and friendships and commitments to each other, volunteerism, advocacy, all of the things that we need to make our lives complete. My partner in crime, Ms. Jackie Williams, we co-chair the Intergenerational Committee, working with both precincts. And we've had some wonderful experiences with young people, the explorers, and making our communities better, building. I want to thank the councilman for this NORC. Naturally occurring, retiring communities where we have activities and services. And we're starting to build a community that's prouder of what Bed-Stuy is. I grew up in Mississippi, but Bed-Stuy has become home for me. I own a home. Department of Aging. I gotta say thank you. Had to call, I was referred to you through Washington, through Medicare, and they connected me within 10 minutes to you, and within 5 minutes, I was connected to an agency that provided support. Thank you, and for the work you do. We are excited. We're ready to work. Richard, we're gonna make it go. Thank you. I forgot, at my church, what do we call older adults?
Prime time.
This is so big for Bed-Stuy, for this community, for the aging community. We have been working together to make sure that we have safe, healthy services, employed seniors, retired, but still working in schools with the young people. It's so amazing, and having this status as a NORC will only bring us and help us to keep flying. So congratulations, Council Member Cornegie. Thank you for the Commissioner, Brooklyn Neighborhood Housing, Bridge Street, all of our partners. We just want to keep moving. This is awesome. This is an awesome, awesome, awesome achievement. Thank you.
Emilio is here today, and I'd like for Emilio to just come forward and speak. Bridge Street does a lot of the other work in conjunction for our seniors, so it's great to see you, Emilio. Please.
But I just want to take this opportunity to thank the council member and his staff for all of the work that they've done over the past couple years to make this a reality. As the council member said, our seniors or our older adults or our most seasoned individuals are the folks who we all rely on, especially at Bridge Street. When you think about the work that we do, the tenant and block associations, it's the seniors that lead that work. If you look at the work that we do around housing development and go to 625 Quincy, that 93-unit building, that's a building full of seniors where we serve over 1,500 seniors every single year. And we've turned that one building into a building that serves the entire community. And we look forward to working with Richard, who's been a partner for a very long time, both in the foreclosure work and other issues, to make sure that this community is not only a community where folks can be born, be teenagers, be working adults, but also can age gracefully and continue to be active. Because as you know, we're in really challenging times. And we're going to need all of you to work with all of us to make sure that the next generation of our seasoned adults continue to have a place to live here in Bedford-Stuyvesant. Thank you.
Thank you, Miller. Again, as a testament to the fact that we're all stakeholders committed to making sure that our seniors can age in place and that their quality of life is not compromised as they age in place. Emilio is here, so I really appreciate that. Also, it's not on the program, but I do have to acknowledge and ask for some words from our Community Board 3 District Manager, who's here. Community Board 3 does a tremendous amount on behalf of our seniors, and it can't be said enough. They had an event recently in the summertime that was an awesome, awesome event that I got to attend. So everybody seems to be centralizing their focus around these two very important populations, our youth and our seniors. I feel a little slighted because I'm right in the middle somewhere. I'm not too far away from being a senior, so y'all look out for me because I'm coming. Make sure y'all pave the way for me. But without further ado, our Community Board District Manager, Henry Butler.
Thank you, Councilman Cornegie. I want to say congratulations to you and your staff, to Brooklyn Neighborhood Services on this outstanding achievement. For me, it's about partnerships within our community, whether it's Brooklyn Neighborhood Services or Bridge Street Development Corporation, because both of those organizations were instrumental in me being back here in Bedford-Stuyvesant, getting my home through Bridge Street, taking home ownership courses with Brooklyn Neighborhood Services. So yes, and then when I first got back here, the first group of people, who embraced me and who took me in, was that seasoned population. When I went to my first block association meeting, the meeting consisted of all seasoned individuals, and I'm like, well, where are the young people at? At this meeting, and they were not there. So it's the seasoned population that keeps Bedford-Stuyvesant growing and moving, and I know that this is the most dependable population within Bedford-Stuyvesant. If you go to any community meeting, who's there? Whether it's a block association, tenant association, precinct council, community board meeting, it's our seasoned population. So I just want to say, once again, congratulations. And if any community deserves this more, it's no other community than the Bedford-Stuyvesant community, because the stats show that, we are a community that is born here, we grow here, and we live out the rest of our lives, within the Bedford-Stuyvesant community. So congratulations again.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. And so to close this out, she was mentioned earlier, Miss Bessie Edwards is here, who's had so many roles within the community that we're proud of. She's one of those seasoned individuals that you're never really sure you want to check. Let me just tell you something. Most of our seasoned individuals, you want to check their ID because you're not really sure. Not just because of how they look, but how active they are in the community. Like this, I'm so happy for them, because to give them a vehicle by which to do their work, because they've committed to do this work and have demonstrated such passion about the work. If somebody could just talk about the great work that the age-friendly ambassadors are doing, especially with our small businesses. The relationship that they've established with the small businesses, which is Small Business Wednesday. See, now I didn't say Elderly Wednesday. I wasn't going to say that out loud. But get me caught up. But where they're going and populating businesses on that Wednesday and patronizing them and getting, there it is right there, right? So no better advertising than that, Elder Wednesdays. So there are programs that they've demanded and instituted that are in their best interest. So not myself or Mr. Butler or Emilio or anyone else dictating what the programs are that meet their needs, them dictating it. So when I say that we have the greatest group of senior ambassadors, it's because of the work that they're putting in. And they're driving this train. So I felt compelled to give them every tool in the toolbox to be successful, and now the NORC helps reach that. So without further ado, one of our most prolific, hardworking seniors in the district, Miss Bessie Edwards. Seasoned. I'm gonna get it right before it's all over with.
Good morning, everyone, and I am really surprised at the credit that I'm getting recently, maybe because I'm seasoned, but I've been getting so much acknowledgement for the things that I've done over the years, and it's totally surprising to me because I do it because I enjoy it. The thing that I want to say to Councilman and his team and partners, thank you so much for NORC, because now I don't have to worry about having to move to Maryland with my children. I can stay in Bed-Stuy, which I constantly share throughout all of the traveling that I do, that New York is the best place, and particularly Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, to get the seasoned spirit. Because in the South, you know, they go shopping and they go to church. Okay, that's the social aspect, which is great, right? But and they're afraid of New York. But I explained to them there's so many things to do here in New York. You can take the bus, you can take the train, you don't have to stay home, you don't have to wait till somebody drive you. And there's so many activities that go on that is really exciting. And our age-friendly group, I mean, they are a role model for me because I'm a part of the advisory group, and I can't keep up sometimes, you know, and especially with Stephanie, who is all over the place and truly committed to the senior initiative. So I am delighted that this is happening. I'm inspired, and just looking at all of these lovely seasoned faces, knowing that we got something planned for later on this afternoon. And the other thing I wanted to share with you is that I'm a member of the Bed-Stuy Real Estate Board, which is also a part of NARAB, which is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. So they have a new president, and I've known him for a while. So at a recent gathering, I said, now, what is NARAB doing for seniors? And he goes, I don't know, what you think? I said, I think you ought to have a committee for seniors and from a national perspective, because that organization has chapters throughout the country. And they do policy forums. They are part of the caucus weekend. And so as a result of me saying that, you know what happens when you come up with an idea. Right. So now they've initiated a ROSI committee, and you want to know what ROSI stands for? Members of NARAB are called realtors. Okay, so the name of the group is the ROSI Committee, and it's Realtors Opportunity for Seasoned Individuals. And so I am the chair of that committee. So, and one final thing I'd like to share with you is that I modeled that committee after our age-friendly group. You know, so I didn't tell them that, but
That's all right.
right. But I really think that this is a momentous occasion, and I'm really looking forward for you guys to, Richard, give us assignments. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So before we close, this is the part where I lay down a little bit of a challenge. I often get to brag as city council about how powerful and dynamic we are as a district. But what people don't realize is that the work that I get to brag about is actually done on the ground by Age Friendly and by the senior ambassadors. So I personally want to thank you for always making me look good, for showing up on Senior Advocacy Day and not using as much profanity as some other districts when y'all are demanding what you want, but always knowing exactly what you want, not being vague, always knowing exactly what you want and giving me my marching orders, which allows me to then partner with the commissioner and partner with the chair and really make demands that are in line with what your needs are. And today is a perfect example of us really all coming together, you giving me a mandate and a marching order, and me being able to accomplish it. So I'd like to give everybody give each other a hand on that. And with that being said, I'm ready to get started. I know Richard's ready to get started. Commissioner will have 1,000 questions for you between now and its implementation, but I know you're open to that.
Contracted process.
And get the right. So there is a process, but I think that myself and Richard are prepared.
We're here to support.
All right, so we look forward to that. Thank you all for coming out. And let's, I tell my kids every day when they go out into the world to go be awesome. Let's all as a community continue to be awesome.